So, what actually happens when a technology starts evolving faster than our ability to control it? That's not some question for the future anymore. We are living it, right now, today. We're going to break down what might just be one of the most decisive weeks in the history of AI, April 12th to 19th, 2026. And the story it tells, well, it's one of absolutely incredible speed and honestly some incredible danger.
Let's kick things off with this number, which comes from the brand new 2026 Stanford AI Index. 53%. That's the chunk of the entire global population that's adopted generative AI. And it only took 3 years to get there. To put that into perspective for you, that is the single fastest technological adoption in all of human history. Not the internet, not the smartphone. This.
And that right there brings us to the crucial question of our time, doesn't it? While AI's capabilities are just skyrocketing, our ability to govern it seems kind of stuck on the ground. The news from this one single week in April, it doesn't just suggest this gap, it proves it.
Okay, let's start with the good stuff, because it is a massive upside. AI is absolutely supercharging the life sciences, creating this frantic, amazing race to revolutionize medicine as we know it. In just a matter of days, the biggest names in tech and pharma made some huge, game-changing moves. OpenAI launched a model built specifically for drug discovery. Amazon rolled out a platform with over 40 biological models. And pharma giant Novo Nordisk announced it's using AI to radically speed up creating new drugs for diabetes and obesity. This isn't just about writing code. We're talking about finding cures faster than we ever thought possible.
This quote right here just says it all. We have officially left the what-if stage. For the world's biggest companies, using AI to shave years off that typical 10 to 15-year drug development cycle, that isn't some far-off dream anymore. Nope, it's their current, operational battleground.
But, with all this power comes pretty inevitable conflict. So while one part of the AI world was racing to save lives, another part was racing straight to the courtroom. Let's take a look at the absolute explosion of legal and regulatory risks.
Get this, over 100. That's how many copyright lawsuits have now been filed against AI companies in the United States alone. And that 100 lawsuit mark, it was just crossed this week when a group of YouTube creators took on Apple, OpenAI, and Amazon for using their videos for training.
And this whole battle over who owns the data is just getting hotter. GitHub announced it's going to start using code from its Copilot users to train its models. And the kicker? It's an opt-out system, not opt-in, which has just reignited this massive debate among developers about the privacy of their own work. And believe it or not, the legal battles are getting even more personal. It all comes down to this concept called legal privilege. That sacred rule that keeps conversations between you and your lawyer completely, totally private. Well, guess what? It turns out that sacred rule does not apply to AI. In a landmark ruling this week, a federal judge declared that anything you discuss with a public AI chatbot is not protected. Just think about that for a second. Your conversation could literally become evidence against you in court.
And this tension is not just playing out in courtrooms. It's now a centerpiece of geopolitics, where entire nations are fighting for their technological independence in this new age of AI.
Take Brazil, for example. This week, they formalized a major AI cooperation agreement with the Chinese firm iFlyTech. And the goal is totally explicit. They want to build their own Portuguese language models and a public AI infrastructure so they can avoid being dependent on foreign tech.
And what the minister said here, it just perfectly captures this new global mindset. For countries all over the world, building your own AI is no longer just about economics. It's become a matter of national security and digital independence.
And nowhere is that battle more intense than in cybersecurity, where AI has become both the ultimate weapon and the ultimate shield. It's created this unprecedented arms race.
So, this new arms race is being fought with a pretty terrifying weapon, something called a zero-day vulnerability. A zero-day is basically a security flaw that's completely unknown to a software's creators, which makes it the perfect invisible key for any hacker.
And this week, we saw exactly what that arms race looks like. One AI company, Anthropic, revealed its model found so many of these zero-day flaws that they literally decided it was too dangerous to release to the public. Then, just days later, OpenAI released its own model specifically designed to defend against those exact kinds of attacks. This is the new frontier, people. It is AI fighting AI.
So, let's just take a breath. We've got a race for life-saving drugs, a total legal quagmire, a geopolitical chess match, and a cybersecurity arms race, all happening at the exact same time. It all leads us right back to the central finding of that 2026 Stanford AI Index. And this, right here, this slide just sums up the whole problem perfectly. Technical capability is like a bullet train accelerating at a pace we have never seen before. Meanwhile, governance, our ability to ensure safety and transparency, it's like a little handcar on the tracks, just struggling to keep up. In fact, the Stanford report found that transparency from major AI labs actually went down this year. So the train is getting faster, and we know less and less about what's even inside.
So what's fueling this runaway train? An absolutely unbelievable amount of money. In 2025 alone, private AI investment in the U.S. hit nearly $286 billion. That is 23 times more than in China, the next closest competitor. And that's the kind of money that prioritizes speed above everything else.
But this machine of progress, it runs on more than just money. It has some serious hidden costs. I mean, look at the environmental cost. The exhaust from training just one model emits as much CO2 as thousands of homes. And then there's the human cost, which the Stanford Index confirmed for the very first time. Since this old boom started, jobs for junior developers have plummeted by nearly 20%. All of this leaves us with the defining question of this decisive week, and maybe this entire decade. We are making unbelievable progress, but at what price? And in this absolutely breakneck race to the future, who gets to decide where we draw the line?
If you want to keep making sense of this chaotic and, let's be honest, exciting new world, I'd love for you to follow us at Macroeconomic IA. It's where we break down these huge shifts in AI, tech, and the global economy. All the links are right there in the description, and we have new analysis coming out all the time.
And just a quick disclaimer before we go. This material is for informational and educational purposes only. It doesn't constitute investment advice or any kind of financial counseling. Remember that projections are subject to frequent revisions, and past performance is never a guarantee of future results. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.